Hey everyone, welcome back. This video is about a Claude Code skill that actually helps me draft automatic replies to leads that have replied to me over cold email in across different campaigns, across different clients. And this is a very simple Claude Code skill that actually runs with a single prompt and gives me a step by step a list-wise reply automatically drafted in my own voice for every single lead that I haven't replied to in the past couple of days. So let me quickly show you my screen and we can get started. So this this is exactly how I have my Claude Code set up. Um, I can, you know, make sure that I'm not overwhelming you with my too many Claude Code instances, but this is a small setup that actually runs my entire business. This is a folder that contains my, as you see, CRM, data, finances, funnel, outreach, scripts. Scripts is just, a folder with like at least 2 dozen Python files right now. Um, content, YouTube, what you're seeing right now was drafted. Claude Code actually went out to research different YouTube topics for me, and it wrote the outline of this video for me. And here I am, presenting you this video. I have different plans as well. I have .claude file, but that's not the topic of this video. So let me quickly give you a demo of how the automatic reply works. So if I quickly tell Claude, let's build, okay, give me the reply queue for Dr. Crow. I want to reply to these people on Monday, tomorrow. Okay. Um, Once I give this command, this prompt, it'll actually go ahead and look at this skill. This is the daily reply queue skill, and it'll run a script which is daily reply queue. And Dr. Grow is my client, um, and I've already said that I want to reply to these people on Monday. So it'll go there, look up the scripts, look up my SmartLead API key, look up all of the campaigns that I have running for this particular client. It'll look up whom I have not replied in the past couple of days, and it'll draft it'll read the entire email thread after that, and then it'll draft the entire, the next reply that I'll be sending to keep following up. And the rule of the rule of sales is essentially that you should not stop following up with leads until they actually say yes or no, right? If you just stop following up after a while, or if you do not have a good automated way of following up, you will actually just be wasting money, because you did spend some money to get that lead in your inbox, to get that lead to reply positively to you. So if you're not following up with them, then you're essentially, just that money that you spent on getting that lead positively reply to you is just down the drain. It doesn't matter anymore. So you want to make sure that you have the least um, the most frictionless way of replying to these people. And I have seen, actually, even after like 2 or 3 weeks of following up, I have booked meetings with people who just ghosted me for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then after since I keep following up with simple small messages that references a previous thing that they talked about in the email thread that we have exchanged, or a piece of info that I think they'll find interesting, or they'll, after reading something that they'll read and be compelled to reply. So if I show you, this reply queue is actually monitoring the task of drafting the replies. um, the output is truncated. Okay, there's a lot of replies to be done. So 69 first reply leads, 11 nudges. So we have to do a lot of nudges. So nudges essentially means we have to reply to these leads. um, these 11 replies are somebody who have not replied to us in the past 3 weeks or so, because since then I've been running different email campaigns for my client. And you'll see that many of these are clearly auto replies. Let me continue reading to see all 80 leads. So it'll go ahead and read all of the replies. So make sure that out of office is not being, categorized as an actual positive reply. That's one of the failures in SmartLead. SmartLead is not that good at separating the percentage of positive replies from the total replies which are not out of office. So yeah, and this skill actually goes ahead and does everything for us. And my the what I do right now is essentially run this skill once every day. So every couple of days I have like a specific set of leads, like 10 to 20 leads that I have to reply to. And this essentially keeps me up to date with all of the campaigns, and I do not have to go into the mailbox, unibox, one by one in SmartLead and just go ahead and look at each and every conversation, draft up a reply manually, and then mark it like as continued. This is essentially why so many leads can actually become like stale over time, because if you do not reply to them like for over like a couple of weeks, they won't even remember you. And it's a bit of a no-brainer, because if you just stop replying, they will have no reason to actually continue the conversation anyway. So yeah, it's reading a lot. And you can do this on any Claude plan. I have the max plan, but I'm actually using the Opus model and at the max effort, because I wanted to use my voice and draft replies in my voice properly. I do not want it to sound robotic or anything like that. So if I quickly switch here and show you how it will look, how the campaign will look if I were to actually um, go into the inbox. So let me show you my master inbox. So since you are able to see it, yep. So if I quickly show you a email campaign, for example, this is a campaign that I ran recently for a client. You'll see that this is a meeting request, so I'll have to reply to this. The client has not yet booked a meeting. This is also a positive reply. So, hi Joshua, like I have followed up on May 13th and today is May 17th, so I should definitely follow up on Monday, tomorrow. So we will hope to have these leads, these kinds of leads, to be present in our reply queue. And this is how I want everything to be done. And yeah, this is already done. So let's look at the output now. So done reading. This is the quick summary of what it said. Bucket 1 is 69 needs first reply. I read all of them. Every single one is an auto reply. So inactive mailbox, clear, negative, or bounce. 0 genuine replies to draft. So we'll just ignore that. Bucket 2 is actually 6 replies worth drafting and 5 to skip. Skipping these people. 4 nudges already, no engagement, ask for VA case, which we gave. We just forwarded to Antonio. So this lead and do it free for 1 month, guess is not budging, multiple nudges sent. So these are the 6 replies. These are the 6 nudges, follow-up replies that we want to be sending immediately to our client, to our prospects. So hey Joshua, the exact lead that I just showed you, which is Joshua, I just wanted to check if you're able to watch the video. Happy to walk you through on a 15-minute call if it's easier. Does Tuesday 11 a.m. or 3 p.m. work? Since I'm gonna be sending this on Monday, this email will be in prospects inbox by Monday morning or Monday afternoon. They will only be able to look at that reply during that time, during that 12-hour period or something, until they go to sleep. So we always want to be offering them time that is a day later or 2 days later at max, because we want to obviously optimize show up rates, and we want to make sure that whenever we are sending the reply, it should be either that day. If you're sending it in the 8 a.m. in the morning, maybe we can offer them today 3 p.m., 5 p.m., something like that, later in the day, so that they have a chance to reply. Or we can draft a reply that offers them a time slot that is 1 day later. And 1 day later means, if you're sending it on Monday, you can send it for Tuesday, and so on. And just like I show you, Shelby, hope you had a good weekend. Following up on the call you mentioned, does Tuesday 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. still work? I'll send a Zoom invite either way. Hi Angela, just checking, very able to watch the video. Hi Bethany, following up in my intro. Quick 15-minute to map how to map your setup. Does Tuesday 3 p.m. or 3 p.m. work? Tuesday 11 a.m. 2 p.m. work? Tuesday 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. work? So on and so forth. So this is exactly how the skill works. And what are the things that you'll need for this to work? Well, let me show you that in a quick Excalibur diagram. So since you already understand that this is related to Claude Code, going over to your SmartLead account, and if you're using SmartLead, that is, looking up your API key, looking up your clients' campaigns, and then making sure to actually um, pull all of the campaign data, look at all of the lead lists, and then do what it needs to do to classify positive replies, and then it will read the email thread and so on and so forth. So if I quickly show you my API keys, this is the business management API key that I have that actually Claude uses to run everything. So let me quickly show you how it works. So we have so this is the Claude Code skill that is actually, doing all of the work for us. And inside this skill, we have a few different things. Um, let's let's write it down. So number one is we want the skill to be able to go into a SmartLead account. So SmartLead API access. So there's that. And then what you want to do is essentially, if you have multiple campaigns running for your client right now, and you might have, you always want to make sure that the client ID, the campaigns that you're running have that client ID attached to that particular client. So if I quickly show you um, email campaigns, so you'll see these are the client, you see the client ID. It's my email because I'm not providing any email access to my client. But if I quickly show you, if I do an add and update client here, you'll see that it's assigned to a particular client. So you always want to make sure that this is the client access folder. This is the client that I've mentioned here. So you want to make sure that email campaigns are associated with the client ID, or client access ID. Once this is done, the Claude Code skill will be able to use your API keys, your SmartLead API key, look up all of the email campaigns associated with your client, and it'll actually go ahead and list all of that campaign. So it'll list all campaigns belonging to the client. After that, what it'll do is essentially look at all of the categorized positive replies. So positive replies come under a few different brackets. So if I mean positive replies can be a info request. So somebody asking for, how does this software work, or how does this offer work, or what's the cost associated with it, or what's the guarantee, or have you done this before, or give me a case study that I can look at, so on and so forth. So you have different questions that cold email leads ask, whenever they want to understand how a particular service works. So info request, this can be a meeting request if there's a very, if a client is utterly convinced that you're the person who can actually solve this problem, this offer that you gave them in cold email, they will be happy to jump on a call immediately. And this happens to about 5 to 10% of positive replies that you send will always have a meeting request immediately. And that's the great part about cold email, that it's like it brings in all kinds of leads. It brings in bad leads, tire kickers, it brings in time wasters, it brings in information request people, it brings in people who immediately ask for a meeting, it brings in people who need to be convinced to go for a meeting, and so on. So you have to carefully make sure that you do not ever miss a particular warm lead. It can be a meeting request, it can be more it can be a rescheduling request, and it could be somebody offering a time to meet. This has happened to me as well. I suggested a 11 a.m. meeting or a 1 p.m. meeting. They suggested 2 p.m. and then it's all done because the client is already ready. The prospect is already ready to jump on a call. So yeah, things like these. The skill will actually look at all of these meetings, and finally it will read the email thread. So read the email thread. This makes sure that so all of the emails that we looked at right there, if I quickly show you email thread, let's look at, so this is not for my client, this is a different email thread. So I sent this email to a marketing agency, and they said, hi there, I'm interested, can we discuss? So I told them, hi, can we do it today? They have not replied, so I'll be following up with them. And as you can see, I've given them a call as well. So that's one way of increasing your meetings booked, if you give them a call immediately. So the prospect did not pick up, so I'll be reaching out to them on Monday again. So read the email thread, and then it'll classify the nudge. So A nudge means a reply needs to be sent every 2 days, every couple of days. And if we have not, for example, if it's Wednesday and we have replied to the um, prospect on Tuesday, that reply will not be appearing in the Claude Code skill. So, every 2 days or whatever, whatever cadence that you want here can be, slided in. Cadence can be, depending on what you want to actually maintain with the client. Then it'll classify the nudge, and then it'll look up the voice file. So assuming that you've already given Claude Code how you write things, so for example, some sales letter that you wrote or some email campaigns that you wrote, it'll be able to derive specific patterns from the way that you write, the way that you want to draft these replies, and it will actually make sure that your replies sound like you, not like a robot or like an AI slop, you know. So it'll look up your voice file, it'll then draft all replies that need to be sent that day. So yeah, these are the 8 steps that it takes to actually, for this Claude Code skill to actually draft all of the replies and make sure that you never miss a lead. Essentially, you never miss a positive reply. So yeah, essentially this is the entire step. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if this is a video that actually interests you and you'll be interested in seeing more behind the scenes about how I build that skill itself. So I'd love to show you that if you want. I can just make a demo project and show you back to back how to make those skills. But um, yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much. And yeah, book a call below if you'd like me to help you with, lead generation and um, generating lead generation for your B2B agency. Um, Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. As you can see, the sun has set and my face looks horrible in this camera. So I'll sign off here. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye.